Got old girl back in the shop tonight. I'm getting it ready for the dyno Saturday morning. Really worried about this thing. I probably shouldn't be, but I've never had a dyno, car dynoed, and makes me nervous. I've got a lot of money in it, and I hate to see this thing grenade on the dyno. I've watched so many videos of that stuff. But it should be fine because it's not like it's a super high horsepower build or anything like that, but still makes me nervous. So I'm going over the car. I did find a small fuel leak. Well, it's more like a seepage, but it's enough to stink. This fuel fitting right here, I'm gonna tighten it up tonight. And then I got some gifts in the mail. Let's see right here. Let's see what we got. Got a WALBRO, if that's how you say it. Fuel pump. It's a 255 liter. Ordered it from eBay. It's made in the USA on it. Come with a little install kit. Comes with, you know, the little strainer and you know, normal stuff most fuel pumps come with. I think my factory one. I'll put a picture, a screenshot of my old pump in this video. If you didn't see my brief overview of the build, it showed it. When I received the car with no engine, fuel pump was awful. It's the worst one I've ever seen. And you'll see in the picture, it was bad. Fuel tank also. I mean, the car sat for probably 10 years with ethanol fuel, 3/4 a tank of that just sitting in the tank, rotten. So I ordered a new tank on eBay and installed it. That was a lot of fun. I had some pictures of that on there. And went to Pick and Pull and got a whole fuel pump assembly because I couldn't reuse the sending unit for the fuel gauge or nothing. It was just too rotten. Everything was. I mean, it was horrible. Well, that pump I think is getting a little weak because I've noticed a few trips the car was feeling kind of. It was feeling kind of weak, and that, you know, it comes and goes. Sometimes really strong. It'll smoke first, second, and third. Other times, it's just lacking. And I'll get home and notice the fuel pump is reading around 20, 25 at the most on my fuel gauge. And normally it's around 40, just a little below 40. So I know I'm losing fuel pressure. Whether that's making the car that laggy, I'm not sure. I know it will lean it out. So, being I'm getting dynoed, which I need to do this anyway, but I'm making a point because I really don't want to do this tonight. I've got some other things I want to work on, but I'm going to go ahead and do it and have the car ready. And I'm going to catch some video of doing it and we'll get to it. First thing I'm going to do, go ahead and pull this old insulation out of my way. Weighs a lot. I could save some weight by removing it. I mean, it wouldn't be a huge difference, but it would help. But I'm going to leave it. The car runs pretty daggone strong anyway. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pull this top back up for a second. And I'm going to fold this carpet underneath it out of the way. Hopefully I don't tear nothing all to hell. My top's already to the point it's going to need replacing. You can see how nasty it is because this car sat for like 10 years with the top down. So all of this is like It's in terrible shape. I mean, it works, it don't leak. It just looks horrible. It's starting to rip a little. All right, let's remove this cover. Keep up with your screws. I am so particular about the screws. I had lost some, and when I went to the junkyard to get the fuel pump, I saved all the screws just so I could put the factory style screws back. It's a good thing you don't have to drop the tank on these. That would be I mean, to do the fuel pump, yeah, there's the fuel pump. Squeeze on the clamp. Get it out of your way. And we'll take our fuel lines loose and screws all the way around. You'll see the screws. Flatheads. Probably is some pressure on here. I usually put a little bit of lubricant on my hoses. That's why this thing's sliding this easy. Just for, after you work on cars every day of your life, you do things like that because you have to suffer working on other people's cars, and a hose that hasn't been removed since 1991. You almost have to cut it off. Man, I wish the pressure was off of here. I ain't got a bleed valve. I'm gonna pull it real slow. Got a little bit. I hate gas spilling here because I got this gas tank painted and Rhino lined and everything before I put it in the car. We spent a lot of time on that because it was just bare metal. Oh, damn it, more gas on it. Any spray bomb stuff you buy does not hold up. I don't care what anybody says. I haven't had any. Damn, I'm just slinging gas everywhere. I haven't had any hold up. When the gas hits it, that's normally it. I did a motorcycle tank I had once and painted it flat black with matte clear coat. It looked really good. Went and filled up the gas tank the next morning, spilled gas. Took the paint right off of it. Whole thing was ruined. Okay. Okay, that's stressing me the hell out right here, big time. It's bullshit. Put that all the way in there. Get a little rubber cover on here. How did this thing went like that? That goes like that. probably make, this is bullshit. That's what this is bullshit. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do, and I really don't want to do this, but I've got an appointment, I've had an appointment over a week, is cut this off here. I guess this is what they call the install kit. I'll cut it off, this bracket right here, and cut that off. Put the hose on there. The hose on here. Some of you guys may have already been down this road and already knew what was going on here, but and just slide it up where it needs to be. I'm going to go ahead and get an idea right now. This is aggravating to me because I'm in a pinch and I really don't want to cut this because it's in really good condition. We bolt this on. Bull crap. I will leave a review. It is not a direct fit. Let's see if the plug even plugs in. I don't even know what I'm thinking. Hell, that may not even work, you bastards. Yeah, that works. Hopefully it'll be the right direction. Okay. Let's see. That'll be right here. Right here is a solder joint, so I'm gonna have to go past it. Dang it, I don't want to cut this. It'd be really nice if I could just whack it right here. I think I can. I'm gonna try that first. I'm gonna whack it right here, and then I can cut this hose. That'll be enough room for a hose clamp, and they'll have this little, I don't know if you can see on the camera, there's a little soldered on joint right there. That'll be there to kind of help the hose. It's not gonna blow off anyway because it's got the base on the bottom, but make me feel a little bit better. And then I don't want to cut all this brace and this arm and all that to move it any further. I don't think it's a good idea to break out the grinder or the torch or anything like that. There is a lot of fuel in here. Now, the only thing I'm holding it with in the vise is right here. I didn't want to damage any of the other pieces. It actually pained me to do that. That sucked. I'm just kind of rounding this edge, make it kind of like a nipple. got her cut. This was not planned. I did not want this to happen. I almost put the factory pump back in. Alright, now we need to figure out the length. I wonder if this factory piece will actually fit on here. It's actually made nicer. Yes and no, it don't quite. Don't fit real good. This one fits a little better. It's always this way modifying stuff though. I should know that. Alright, we'll cut this one right about here. That's scientific enough. Actually, I'm going to cut it just a little beyond that, just in case. Install kit. This is what you get with an install kit. Maybe elsewhere you'll have better luck, but and I know there'll be the ones that you should have bought it or somewhere else. eBay sucks, blah 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 blah. eBay has its problems from time to time, but all in all, I've had good luck with them over the years. It's the seller that's the problem here. Maybe it was me. Maybe I didn't read the ad good. A little dielectric grease. Just something to slick it up a little. This isn't going to just like blow off or nothing. I know what you're thinking with the grease. Plus I've got a shoulder the way I did that. This should be really secure. I still didn't want to change the factory design though, I'm not going to lie. I think the plug went in up here, so we'll position this down here. Stab myself 20 times. Luckily, I don't wear gloves normally, so my skin is pretty dang tough. And of course, if you tighten these clamps too tight, they will strip out. That's not going to go nowhere. Alright, now we'll take this off, maybe for the last time, hopefully. We'll throw this on it. What the heck will it hurt? Clamp, position it same way as that one, keep it nice and neat. Put a little bit of grease on this too. I may have to trim a little of this hose later. I'm hoping I'm positioning this right. I have about forgot which daggone way the thing was. Oh, that was good. You can tell I'm aggravated. I'm pretty disappointed in this. We'll go this way with it. Oh yeah, well, I know it goes this way. I'll show you why in a second. You may already be ahead of me, I already know that. This rubber fitting only fits one way. Fits just like that. Rotate the pump around. And this bracket goes just like that. That's how you know you got it right. And I know the pump's got some slack in it. I'm about to fix that. Go ahead and get this bracket on there. Alright, now I slid this down further than it needed to be. So now I can slide the pump down until it's snug on this housing down here. So it won't wiggle out of here. Alright, I'm gonna snug it a little more in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and start running this clamp up. Stab myself a few more times. I hate flatheads. I don't feel like digging for a socket to fit this. Position it. You see the little knot right there, and that's where the nipple is. You want to go below that. Shouldn't pry on that. I'm going to pry slightly. That's not a good idea. Don't follow my example. Come on, baby. Let's just get it over with. Like me, it clamps a little bit off from the other one. Rotate it just a little past it, and then when you tighten it, it'll stop at about the right spot to be level. It don't really matter, but it's just me. Well, all in all, it don't look too bad. All right, I'm back. I think that dog got into something he shouldn't have, namely the cats. We won't go into no detail, but they like to bury little treasures, and then he gets sand, and things go from there. Plug in right here. We're good. Everything clears. I think I'm going to use the tie strap they gave me. Tie that wire back. Probably no need to do that really, but actually, I don't know. This thing sits just like this. The car. I'm trying to see what I wonder if mine's bent a little. Why it never reads full, even when the car's full. Because right here, it'll be way up here. I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. I'm gonna just leave it alone. And I'm not going to zip tie this where I was going to, but it's going to stay there. It's not going to go nowhere. I don't really want to zip tie it to the metal. All right. Get a little overview here. Actually turned out better than I thought. I feel better about it now. It don't look bad. Now when I upgrade later, hopefully I won't have to. I know eventually I'd have to modify the size of the tubes, but honestly, I'm planning on maybe a 500 horsepower build later, maybe 600 after this engine goes south. And this is a pretty good running engine here, but I do want to build a 351 based engine, maybe a stroke to a 427 with aluminum block. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but that's in the plans. All right. Make sure your rubber gasket is still in place. Feed it down. Try not to bend the float assembly. And just kind of let it fall right in. Now, be careful with these screws because they are tiny. And you will drop them a heartbeat. Or if you're like me, have a hard time lining them up. Trying to keep the camera where you could see and not block it. Come on, dude. You ain't got time for this. Okay, let's go. There we go. They put these screws that just are long enough. Thought they were scared to put a long screw in it. Just snugging them up right now. Then I'll iron them down. I don't want to like tighten the piss out of one of them and get it bent and warped. Plus, it helps line the other one up, which I'm loosening on now. If you get one that's a little out of whack, you can shift things just like that. Come on, babe. I'm glad I've been putting this off. This is not the kind of modifications I like doing. I like doing stuff like that water pump, alternator, and wiring, amps, and things like that. Fuel pumps stuff, boring. I do it so much every day. I just hate doing that kind of stuff. Just ironing each one down just a little. Man, these things go on forever. We're getting there now because freaking gas is pouring out. Everything I do on this car involves damn gas coming out. Keep the gas smell out of the shop as much as possible. Tears my dang old sinuses up bad. Gotta check this valve. Maybe one of you can leave in the comments if you know about it. This car tends to, if it sits with the fuel lines off, it will literally push every bit of fuel in the tank out without the car on, especially in the sun. Pressure builds up and don't release. And I'm wondering if it's this little vent assembly. I got a vent under the car, but it still does it. And you just seen it then. It just started pushing it up. Got our lines connected. Nice and snug. Plug in. I know it's simple. I mean, you're like, well, am I whining? I'd rather be doing something else to the car than this. Plus, I got a headache right now from smelling it. Started to do it outside, but it's so wet and humid that mosquitoes will eat you alive. I know I should have tested it first, but I'm confident in my work. May look like an idiot here in a minute when the car don't crank, but we'll see. Nothing went wrong just then that would alarm me. Other than the pump not being a direct fit. I've got to slide that up and get this carpet. Really, I want to put this insulation back and I don't want to. I'm going to. I'm not going to take no chances on being noisy. Trapped in here. All right. Pretty close. Got to go to the salvage yard and snag some more of these clips. Only got one. Or order some. I'll get some decent ones. And I need some new carpet. You don't have to rag on me, I know that. I didn't slide the sink before. Let's see about that. Alright, let's I'm gonna turn the key on and we should see the gauge raise. It'll take a second to prime. The car may not start immediately. It should start pretty quick though. Y'all probably think I'm crazy. That'll get rid of almost all the gas smell. I won't get rid of 100%, but it comes close. We'll get rid of a little bit of hair too. But I can't stand gas smell. I'm allergic to this stuff. I'll get a headache, sinus headache, and it'll just be miserable. Well, the fuel pump works good. It's holding pressure right now. We'll see if it leaks down or not in the check valve. I'm not too worried about it if it does, but a lot of brand new ones do I install. It's kind of sad that parts are that way nowadays, but they are. The car, shoot. If you notice the fans, everything come on when I crank it. That is my next project. Well, it's not my next one, but it's real close here after I get it tuned. I'm gonna start working on that dash, the computer dashboard, and it's gonna control the fans and all that, so they'll come on at set temperatures and all with Mega Squirt and everything. So right now they're just key on, and I don't like that, and I know that's not 100%, but that's gonna get changed. And the car's surging, the idle surges. Once it warms up a little, it usually smooths out some, but it'll still surge. Fords they're real bad about that. Even with the Mega Squirt, it does it. But hopefully, after our tuning session Saturday, all that'll be took care of. And I will catch you guys later. Appreciate you watching.